Occipital misdirection. Tobin has been fucking with his entanglement again by imagining X-Men type powers that show up on others' smidgen. The phenomenon of smidgen is only partly understood, usually in the context of new parents imagining the appearance of a recently conceived child. Instead, Tobin walks flames along his hands, taunts Elsa by icing things over, or melting otherwise mundane objects while sitting in a car. Other instances have resembled 3D scans of buildings, such as intel delivered by Big Tone, the Mastiff, who can even smell out the framing plan of a panic room's death traps. In particular, placing a ladder in a narrow, hollow column between two bathrooms in a space supposedly for piping, but is actually to funnel in an intruder or helper. Panic roomers do not discriminate, as they just like killing. And have them shot in the head by a stereoscopic machine vision system and a double-shot barrel concealed in the electrical conduit of a light with the trigger system hidden in a weather vane. These visions can become arbitrarily complicated if one's life depends on it, and when they achieve a level of complexity so great that it couldn't possibly be from a moment of creativity in a dream, Tobin is convinced he has been gifted information not from his own brain via occipital entanglement. So what to do with this information? Write it out as a super long description based entirely from memory? Add it to a television series, book, video game, or live-action RPG? These concerns are trifles compared to his perpetual destitution in Seattle, so he takes up voice acting using the Backstage app, which is a platform that accepts both visual and audio inputs for users' profiles. He spends a few hours tricking out the profile with his best photos and personal athletic records, and follows up with a recording of Dog Detective, which is something he imagined the writers would be about, except he was too high on pot at the time to resonate with the production crew. Tobin, as Edgar Painter. So I took the quantum entangled ketamine on the advice of the veterinarian to recall details of the case, but the tragedy of it all in cases of abuse is that we always find out too late. Knowing that tears do not get recorded, he changed the subject into an intro song. Someone farted and we caught it on the smidgen. We solve crimes like humans have vision. A cartoony, familiar voice occurs on his oral entanglement. So you mean like the royal we? Holy shit, Vanellope, are you online? Vanellope, mocking. Holy shit, Tobin, are you online? I can tell by the different cadence and from having full timbre definition that you're making fun of me. You sound like a foul-mouthed child. Sarah Silverman. Dude, do you seriously talk like that? Dude, do you seriously talk like this? Sarah. Kind of. I try to make fun of new people on my entanglement to see how they react, and Disney casted me as Vanellope because that's exactly what kind of person I am in real life. She returns to being a character. And this conversation is over. Tobin. Are you K-hold right now? I can't actually assess this by perceiving your QR. Sarah, I am actually. I can see through your eyes and hear through your ears. Okay, watch this. Tobin imagines Noise's remix of Skrillex, Bug Hunt, and looks around the room, summoning scarabs and brown recluses to come out from under all the furniture and behind the curtains. A deluge of black carapace inundates the room, throwing off the covers of the heat vents, and the bugs start to tear at the drapes. Tobin, hold on a second. He imagines the fateful moment from 20 minutes of chore play on YouTube at 6 minutes 5 seconds, and farts so loud that the bugs are reduced to a slimy ash, mysteriously disappearing and repairing the room entirely. Sarah, that was some mummy-level shit. Tobin. Oh, just one of those things you can do when fucking with hitmen and the old coot all day, every day. Her recluse farm ain't shit. We waited for her to run into a panic room and slam the door with its linear motors before she crossed the threshold. It was designed to slam so hard that it brings down the house so she could hide inside a gun safe within. She was myopted, and it was embedded in concrete and then in the hillside at 97th and Lakeshore. The next step would be to use an induction heater coil to bronze ox her dumbass, but instead we get Tobin imagines the door slamming, the panicked old lady, smashing her corpse into the recess of the panic room door. Sarah, wow, that's like my worst fear, so vivid. It's burned into the back of my retinas. Tobin, exactly. These are actually accounts of myoptic evildoers that had brains so rotted by hydrochloride ion that the occipital entanglements were not possible, and so such visions, such as smashing a domestic abuser so hard with a hammer that their spinal column pops their corpus callosum through their brain pan, must have come from retinal entanglement, much like Spider's vision. Sarah, you really do talk like this all the time. Tobin, anything to impress a girl. So are you online to discuss adopting a talking animal? Sarah, and telepathic? Tobin, you mean RS ketamine networking? Sarah, and I thought you hated introducing yourself with a correction. Tobin, you're a comedian and have clapbacks for days. Can you just say an animal? I've not seen Zootopia 2 yet, FYI. Sarah, it's required viewing concerning stereotyping, which is exactly what I wanted to combat, especially when it comes to pet rats. Tobin, I love rats, but they're double R reactives, making them their QR silent, even if they have overcome interspecies reluctance since Ratatouille. I would put that movie on for my pet rats so they could see a famous example of their species, like the Dalmatians in Thunderbolt. Sarge, voiced by Alison Jeffers. I love Thunderbolt. Sarah, who is that? Tobin, we have a German Shepherd at the King County Sheriff's Office where I took up employment, but only in a bifurcated universe where I wasn't too funny to make an arrest. Skittles, voiced by Lady Gaga as Harley from Folie Deux. Do you think bifurcated is a cute word? I think bifurcated is a cute word. Tobin, Skittles the cat is also fully verbal, where usually the species does not speak to us, but we've had no luck with rabbits, or rats, even ones that people like well enough. Maybe they still hate being known as prey species. Sarah, I was hoping to adopt an animal just to talk to it like you did with Skittles. Tobin, what if we fast forward the process by just having you do a bit instead of a microphone in each cage to bring down the octaves down to your receiver and see who laughs? It'll sound like chirping to you. And then you pick that one. And so, the premise of Zootopia 3 is born. Sarah Silverman writes a bit using all the animal stereotypes, which are better to acknowledge and make fun of than to pretend they don't exist. To keep the animal's QM on a unique timbre profile, she does this in the voice of Vanellope von Schweetz, so that this is the voice that she may soon hear back on her QM if she is successful. Still, there is one animal in a cage unmoved by her riotous performance. Ever the disruptor, she singles out the mute cage, pointing it out. The hyenas bust up laughing, knowing what comes next. Sarah, what's this guy's problem? The cage in question houses Trevor the rhesus monkey, voiced by Trevor Wallace, returned yesterday by Derek for throwing poop at the dinner table. Tobin, I don't know what to tell you. We tried a shot caller to rate in his sense of humor. Maybe your animal's bit is unfunny to primates. He's just a slightly less than civilized person. Sarah, he's perfect. You get better results when you don't think about them too much. I'll take him. Tobin hands her the quantum entangled remote.